guys, my name is Hamza. I'm a fifth year medical student currently studying in China. In this video, we'll be talking about cost of living in China. If you are someone who wants to settle down in China as a foreigner, teacher, student, or in any occupation you are, this video is gonna be really informational for you. If you are rich, middle class, or just so and so just can barely afford an apartment, after this video, you'll be very specific about the choice of lifestyle and the place you want to live in. You can live in China with just 1000 RMB in your pockets, and I have seen people living in China with spending 30 to 40,000 RMB a month. So it literally depends on you. So for in detail review, let's get started with the video. So hey, first we'll talk about accommodation. This is the place where you will be spending the most amount of your money. First we'll talk about Tier 1 cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou. In these places, if you want to rent a single bedroom apartment, you'll have to spend around 5000 RMB in the main city itself. If you want a little nice apartment of 2 rooms, so you'll be spending around 7000 to 8000 RMB. And if you're a family person and you're coming along with your family to stable down in China, an apartment of around 2-3 rooms with 1 lounge will cost you around 14,000 RMB. These are the prices of the main city itself, main cities of Beijing and Shanghai. If you are a single person, you can even opt for a shared apartment, which will reduce your expenditure to almost half of the price. So hey, don't worry. If you want to spend less than this amount of money, you can opt for the suburban areas. So what are these suburban areas? So if you are in Beijing and Shanghai, there are places outside these cities which also has a population, and there are a lot of people living there with proper life standard. It will cut down your cost to around half of the expenditure you are spending on the main city itself. Like if you get an apartment of around 5000 RMB in Beijing and Shanghai main city, you'll get that same apartment for around 2 till 3000 in the suburban areas. But if you even don't have this amount of money, you can opt for Tier 2 cities like Chengdu, Xi'an. In Tier 2 cities like Chengdu, Xi'an, here you can even take an apartment in the main city itself and costing around 2000 to 3000 RMB. But if you have even less than this, then you can opt for the places outside like the suburban areas of these cities, and it would cost around 1000 RMB till 2000 RMB. And if even you can't afford this much amount of money, there are places like Tier 3 or Tier 4 cities where like Yuan and other places where you can get a single bedroom apartment for less than 1000 RMB. And it's really worth it if you're just coming to China and you want to stable yourself after some time, but for now you just have a small job. But hey, don't forget about if you have the job in the main city itself and you have to move around the city again and again, here taxis are a little expensive than any other means of communication. So if you're riding by taxis, it will cost around 150 RMB for going to the job and coming back. So this would take a lot more than the amount of taking an apartment within the main city itself. So do think about this too, and you'll get the idea when I'll discuss about utilities, transport and these kind of things in further section of the video. So stay tuned with it. But if you are comfortable with buses and subways, it's totally worth it to take an apartment in a suburban area and visit the city itself whenever you want to. There is an app called Wellsee. On this app, you can directly talk to the house owner itself, and you can even bargain and ask for a little discount from the house owner itself. If he would be kind enough, he'll give you the discount. In this section of the video, we'll be talking about utilities, which will almost be the same all around China. Might be a little variation, but it would be pretty much same. I'll be telling you the price which I or some of my fellow friends have been across in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, but it will be almost around about the same in cities like Beijing and Shanghai, which are Tier 1 cities. When you're living in an apartment, you have to pay for the tap water yourself. It will cost around 100 RMB per year. Then there comes the drinking water. For this, you have to spend around, for one can of 20 liters, you'll have to spend around 25 to 30 RMB. Electricity would take around 100 till 200 RMB, and it will also depend on the usage and the season itself. If you're a person who can cook on natural gas, it will cut down your price a lot because natural gas is much cheaper than the electricity itself. In China, there is a huge probability that you will end up in a city where there is more cold than hot season itself. And for that, you would need a centralized heating. And for this centralized heating, you'll have to spend around 1000 RMB for one winter season. And in between, in spring or autumn, you might feel a little cold. And for that, you can use your air conditioner as a heater itself, and it would add up in the electricity bills. Mobile recharge and Wi-Fi is also a thing. So for this, for Wi-Fi you'll have to pay 100 yuan per month, and for the mobile internet package and minutes, you'll have to spend around 60-70 RMB per month for a decent amount of minutes and internet package. But I would suggest, if you're a student and or if you can select student package for you. So personally, I have a student package and I use I get 13 GB of internet and a nice amount of minutes for around 36 RMB, and I have rarely finished it until the month ends. In this part of the video, we'll be talking about transport. The cheapest mean of transport in China are buses and bikes. You will get Alipay and Alipay bikes called Hello bikes and other brands bike in the roads, and you can just open it, scan the QR code and open those bikes with around 1 till 2 RMB. I have made a video on Alipay bikes. I'll be linking it down in the description, and I'll also be mentioning it will also pop up on the I button. So consider checking out those if you are interested after this video. Alipay bikes are a very popular means of transport for short distances because they have a limit where you can travel within, and they are very cheap. 1 till 2 RMB you can travel for considerable amount of distance. But if you have to go far enough, so the best and the cheapest option would be a bus. It will cost around 2 RMB to 8 RMB to cover a considerable amount of distance within the city. Another means of transport is a subway. You can travel within the cities very fast, and even you can go to the suburban area within 4 till 12 RMB, depends on the city you live in. And hey, if you have a job and your office is very near your house, you can even opt for a electric bike, and you can buy a electric bike for around 2000 till 4000 RMB. And if you buy a second hand bike, it would be even cheaper. So you can even opt for that. For the charging, you'll have to pay in the there is a garage in every colony, and you'll have to pay for that charging. It's a very less amount and it's totally worth it. Food is the thing in which you can save money whether you are from tier 1 city or tier 3 city, because there is one thing: cooking yourself is quite cheaper than eating outside. I have seen people making their food for 2 days straight and eating the same food, and I have also seen people who are eating every meal outside. It's quite a turning point. In Beijing and Shanghai, for an average meal, you can expect around 20 till 30 RMB for each meal. And if you wanna go for Western or Indian food, you'll have to spend around 50 to 60 RMB for each meal. For suburban areas and tier 2 cities like Xi'an, you can eat a meal within 20 RMB. As for suggestion, things like jian, ping, shoujiabian, muor, these are kind of breads in which there is egg or sometimes there's chicken. These kind of things are cheaper than the average food itself, and they serve as a nice breakfast. So you can try these things out whenever you come into China. But I would suggest you to go for the self cooking, because I have seen people who have been doing self cooking totally themselves, and they can get along the month for around 500 till 1000 RMB. They can spend the whole month. So it's quite a difference. And you can eat whatever you want to. You can make yourself anything. And meanwhile, by saving that money, you can host a party on weekends, or maybe you can try different cuisines like Chinese and Western. So consider saving your money. For detailed cost, I have made two videos in Walmart, and over there you can get the prices from butter and flour to things like basketball, TV, and all these kind of things. You can get the price. You can just check those two videos out. I'll link them in the description, and they'll also come in the I button. So consider checking those out too for detailed review. And hey, if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing so. It would be a kind of support, and it will help me make more informational videos like this. So consider subscribing to the channel. For payment, you don't need currency notes. In China, people have WeChat and Alipay, and it's literally used for every other thing you want to do. When you come, you have to attach bank cards to WeChat and Alipay, and you can pay wherever you want to go. Currency payments are not too common in China. They are very less. People usually pay digitally by using WeChat and Alipay. So it's a must to have WeChat and Alipay when you come to China. In buses and shops, there is a WeChat QR code. You have to scan those QR codes and you have to pay over there. Transport cards are also available within Alipay and WeChat, and you can attach them to your bank cards and directly pay for subways and buses. WeChat and Alipay are literally master of all. On Alipay and WeChat, you can rent a hotel, you can book a movie ticket, you can find travel places, you can order food, be it ready-made or fruits, vegetables, these kind of things. You can directly order them through WeChat. You can even book Didi, which is a Uber or Careem kind of a service within China, and they will charge you the exact price for the exact kilometers according to the distance. For example, if you want to go from suburban area to the main city, if it's 20 kilometers, you'll have to spend around 70 to 80 RMB for one go. For vegetables and fruits, Meituan is an app which is attached to the WeChat, and in WeChat only you can go to the Meituan app and order food for yourself, and even you can recharge through WeChat and Alipay. It's like everything is done within WeChat and Alipay in China. For nowadays, we even have health QR codes. If we want to go anywhere, there are QR codes which are green, and you have to show them to the places, and you can go inside where there are few restrictions like Walmart and some crowdy places. Let's talk about grocery, garments, and shopping. For grocery, you can use Meituan app. It's super convenient. They'll deliver everything at your doorstep. For garments and shopping, I would say if you're not a branded kind of a person, not liking brands very much, and you can go along with normal clothes which are not branded, then you can choose Taobao and Pinduoduo. These are the two apps in which you'll get things way cheaper than what you are getting outside. Because sometimes it also happens in China that the merchant sees you as a foreigner and he tries to loot you a bit and say prices a little more than the normal prices. For entertainment, let's take an example of gym. In the main cities such as Beijing and Shanghai, it would cost around 5,000 to 8,000 yuan per year, depending on the place it is and how equipped it is with the machinery. And you can get a full-time trainer over there who will train you with the particular exercises you want to do. Whereas in suburban areas or cities like Chengdu and Xi'an, if you don't want to go with that kind of expensive vibe, you can just go for a simple gym. Would cost around 1000 RMB a year, and with no trainer. And if you're interested in movies and those kind of stuffs, Movies would take around, like in Beijing it would take around 50 to 60 RMB for a single movie, and for Xi'an and Chengdu it would take around 30-40 RMB. Also you'll get a ticket for a cinema. So hey, this is the video I have covered about cost of living in China, especially in 2021. And if you wish to see the exact prices, you can go to the channel and watch my Walmart video, in which there is a price of each and everything, be it food, utilities like TV, machines, washing machines, these kind of things. You'll get the exact prices out of that. So go and check those videos out. I'll link them down in the description too. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. See ya.